Hello and welcome back to Counting the Omer 5786. We've been counting for almost a full week now. Let's jump in with a blessing for Torah study. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu le'asok b'divrei Torah. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who made us holy with mitzvot, and who commanded us to get busy with words of Torah. So we are in the first week of the counting of the Omer, which corresponds to Chesed, loving kindness. And this is the seventh day of the week, which corresponds to Malchut, sovereignty or kingdom. So let me start by telling you a mystical story of creation. In the beginning, there was nothing, and the nothing was God. We call this level of God, this phase of the divine, the Ein, which literally means there isn't, or nothing, or not. So, how could God be nothing? Well, God is everything there is, all being. And this is a time outside of time, a space outside of time and space. So it's hard for us to wrap our heads around it, but we'll call it a moment. We'll talk about moments in order to help us wrap our heads around it. And this is a moment in which all that is doesn't yet have consciousness or doesn't have consciousness. It's not self aware. And so whatever is isn't because there's no consciousness. But at some moment that wasn't a moment because there was no time, but we're trying to wrap our heads around this very big idea, everything that was became self aware. And in the moment of self awareness, everything that was, that used to be Ein, now became Ein Sof. There is no ending. Now, being everything there is, and being unchangeable, and filling up all the space that there is, can be pretty boring. There's no one to talk to. There's nothing going on. Nothing to keep your all powerful consciousness active. So God wanted to make something, a universe, in which stories could happen, in which things could change and be and live and grow and everything else. But God looked around and realized that there was no place to put a universe because God is all that there is, and God was taking up all the space in which to put a universe. And so God shrunk God's self down, pulling in, pulling in, pulling in, pulling in. We call this the tzimtzum. And this tzimtzum, this pulling in, this retracting, this making space, created a space in which a universe could be made. Now there was space in which to put a universe, but nothing to make a universe out of. Because everything that is God. And it was all crunched up into this very, very tiny, tidy, scrunched up bit. So God realized that God would have to make that universe out of God's self. And so God decided to explode God's self out to make vessels in which to pour God's light into the world. Well, God started to create vessels and to pour God's self into the vessels, but those vessels broke from the power of it, and the explosion was tremendous. And that explosion is called Ein Sof, or unending light. And that unending light which is divine light, it permeates the whole universe. It's one of the ways in which the divine is hidden and yet obvious throughout the universe. But those vessels in which God was trying to create the universe that broke from the overwhelm of the light of the divine, those broke into lots of tiny, tiny shards. I don't know, maybe they're atoms. Maybe they're the wiggling strings of string theory, but those tiny bits shattered and spread out and grew and formed and shaped into a universe. Malchut is physical reality. There are various ways to view these 10 sefirot, or emanations of divine, and one of them is that Keter, crown, is the most rarefied aspect of the divine, and Malchut is the place where God is manifest in physical reality itself. This is why miracles have perfectly good explanations. God works in reality with the rules of physics, not against them. Another way to think of this is that Keter is the unified one who is crowned sovereign over all, and Malchut is the plane in which that one enacts their sovereignty. All things flow from Keter and all things flow into Malchut, but also things flow back from Malchut back up to Keter. Today is Malchut in Chesed, or we're going into Malchut in Chesed. So, what is this physical reality in the space of Chesed? Perhaps it is all of the things that are happening in the world being held with gentleness and kindness and mercy. Our world's brokenness, the hurt, the anger, the fear, it's all held by God in their Chesed. Can we do the same? Our world's joy, love, connection, and celebration are also held by God in Chesed, because these things exist side by side with the hard stuff. It's all one big, giant experience together, unified. It is okay to find joy even in the hard times, because in every single moment that someone is dying, someone else is being born. Something horrible is happening, something joyous is happening. Somewhere in the world, there is something unimaginably beautiful happening right this exact instant. And also, somebody is facing incredible tragedy. The world is too much for a single human to hold. Let chesed be your backpack. Recognize that in every moment, whatever you're feeling right now, it is okay to be feeling this because you are in a specific moment, a specific place within Malchut. And it is okay for other people to be experiencing what they're experiencing and feeling what they're feeling about those experiences in this moment because they are in their place, their time within Malchut. We can hold these things gently, with kindness, with mercy, and take steps to make the world a better place. Let's say the blessings for the counting of the Omer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidishanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who sanctifies us with mitzvot and commands us concerning the counting of the Omer. Hayom shiva yamim shehem shavua echad le'omer. Malchut shebechesed, Selah. Today is the 7th day, which is 1 week of the Omer. Malchut, which is in Chesed. Selah. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow.